I was really in a bad mental state. I was like, okay, I'm putting this dress on for an event, but I can see my belly a lot. Is it gonna be covered by a waist trainer, a body shaper? But then I'm like, I don't like that I feel suffocated, a little bit suffocated with it on. I was like, what should I do? Should I just go and feel insecure with my belly? Should I wear this waist trainer? It's just like these things were really hitting my confidence. Now I feel confident. I did fit in some of my clothes that I didn't in the past year or two. I do feel like I look better in some things. I just work out and lose some weight, and now it actually zips. And it's still work in progress, but I feel much better. I'm like, okay, it zips now. Now I just like gonna keep working on it so that it gets a little bit loose. Um, so it's just I have a lot of motivation, a lot of confidence with all of the changes that I went through with the program.
And tell everyone just a little bit about yourself, what you do, where you were before you kind of joined and started working together.
Well, my name is Cassandra. When I first started on the program, or prior to starting on the program, I would say in a low point mentally and physically. I was continuously trying to do what's best for me, eat well, eat enough, which was, I would say, one of the biggest challenges, and then work out twice to three times a week. And I had freshly moved states, so it was kind of like dealing with a big change, not just in environment, but also in kind of starting over and looking for a group of people that I could consider my friends. Having to start over, everybody's back at home at the other state, and just like dealing with a little bit of loneliness is another big factor, I would say. But dealing with that mentally just kind of put me in a low point, dealing with stress, a little bit of anxiousness, and then still trying to maintain a little bit of my old lifestyle of like, trying to work out, trying to eat well. So that was pretty much where I started.
Thank you for sharing that. So, let's talk about, because obviously you've been through other things or you tried other approaches. So, what have you tried before, and why do you feel like they didn't work out for you?
So, online we hear a bunch of different ways of dieting or working out. For example, I've heard about fasting up until 12, don't eat in the morning, um, or just doing a bunch of push-ups and crunches, things like that. And I feel like I didn't factor in a big part of the diet, not diet, but just what you eat, how much of what you eat makes a big difference, and how you feel mentally, how your body is doing mentally, hormonally, with anxiety, stress. And also sleeping, how much sleep I get. I didn't really consider how that also plays a big factor in my body letting go of weight and allowing itself to lose weight. So I would say that's part of what was kind of holding me back from losing any weight or like moving forward into a direction where I would feel better about myself and feel more confident with my body and my mental state.
And then kind of share then with that being said, what made you feel like this was the right fit compared to everything you've seen out there, everything you've tried?
Mhm.
What was the moment that you knew okay, this wasn't like the fasting or the ketos, the other programs? What was that kind of deciding factor?
So a big deciding factor for me doing your program was
Mm,
I was looking for something that felt a little bit more me controlling it and also not pushing more of like just eat chicken and salad type of thing, something like that. It's like I felt free to still eat things that I wanted. It's just paying more attention about the moderation of it, how much of the portion size. And I also had started following your page a while back because I was looking for something that related more with what I value, which was holistic medicine, looking at things that considered the hormones within our bodies that also played a big factor. So those are things that attracted me with your page to begin with, and and then when you reached out to me, I was at the point where I was like, I should really do something. I should look into some type of coaching and I was considering a coach at a place like F45, for example, just go and have somebody push me through the workouts.
Hmm.
But I also, after like talking to you a little bit, realized that maybe that won't help because who knows, I might just end up not going because I have to drive there. And it's just like, I'm just gonna slowly leave it. And also, if I didn't see the results that I wanted, because maybe, who knows, maybe they weren't gonna coach me on the food portion and just on the working out portion. And if it wasn't working out, I was just gonna go back to square one. So that's kind of what led me to take a chance on this program.
You obviously took a chance. You had that um, the hesitancies, the fears, the skepticisms, rightfully so. I mean, there's a lot of information and opportunities out there. But people are probably going to be wondering what's the biggest changes you noticed, whether it's physical changes, emotional, mental, during and even after. Like, what kind of shifts have you noticed?
Beginning with mental, I would say it's like you pretty much gave me the perspective to think about where I was mentally and where I was with my mental state. For example, the sleeping portion was a big thing that I didn't think about. I would sometimes sleep 4 to 6 hours, and I started paying more attention to I should sleep more than 6 hours, then push it an additional hour each time. So that was one big factor. And the other is eating breakfast. That's a big one. I just was struggling with hitting my calories and also making sure that I ate 3 meals a day, and also making sure that it was there was enough protein for me to hit during the day.
Physical, mental, and even emotional, any emotional changes or how it's impacted your
Okay.
life outside of just your body.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Um, so that was part of it. Another part that has to do with the diet portion. I've dealt with acid reflux personally, and that was something that I had issues with for years at this point. And I didn't realize that part of that was impacted by diet, by the certain foods that I was eating, and that I had to pay attention to what I was eating.
Yeah.
Um, so that was one part that it just kind of added to my stress. It's just like, oh my gosh, I ate this pizza and it just got me acid reflux. Now I don't really want to eat anything, or I'm not going to sleep well tonight. Thinking about also my vitamin sources, because you also would talk to me about that portion. Made me think about, am I getting the right vitamins to also help me and nurture my body? And then with the working out portion, it was more like self-paced and being able to ask you like, am I doing this correctly to feel it in the right places to get the effect that we're going for? All of it was very beneficial for me, and we're starting to it gave me a lot of confidence back for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it sounds like you have more certainty of like what to do and not to do. You have the confidence that when
Hmm.
whether you're showing up at the gym, nutrition, supplement choices, you know exactly what to do to not just reach your goals, but at the end of the day, maintain it. That's the main goal. But I do want to know, who do you feel like you were in the beginning, like before we started, compared to where you are now? Like, that's one thing that you feel like you're proud about, or even what you thought was impossible before, that now you're realizing that this is who you are.
I didn't realize it was possible to. One thing is the acid reflux. I didn't realize it was possible to get rid of it because sometimes I think about, oh wow, I probably ate too much spicy food. I probably ate too much acidic food, and now my body is this way, and now I have to deal with it for who knows how long. And for me to realize it's something that you can get rid of, you can reverse it just by thinking about the factors of the food that can help with that. So that was one aspect that it just made me feel a lot better, um, mentally and physically, just being able to get rid of that. And then the other portion is just I felt really uncomfortable in my clothes. I like to keep my wardrobe. Anything that I purchase, I want to keep it for the long term as long as I can because I really like it. Like I investing in myself by buying things that I really like. And seeing that I had gained weight and I wasn't looking as good in that clothing, or which is this is where I was at when I first started. Um, I was really in a bad mental state. I was like, okay, I'm putting this dress on for an event, but I can see my belly a lot. Is it going to be covered by a waist trainer, a a body shaper, but then I'm like, I don't like that I feel so suffocated, a little bit suffocated with it on. I was like, what should I do? Should I just go and feel insecure with my belly? Should I wear this waist trainer? It's just like these things were really um, hitting my confidence. I was like, okay, I have to do something about it. I need to start working on this so I can feel more confident about not needing a waist trainer, about feeling like, okay, I'm gonna wear this dress and not look at it and be like, okay, maybe I should change. Because then if I eat later, I'm just gonna look bloated, stuff like that. So all of that was very much deteriorating at how I looked at myself and how I felt about myself. So that's like a big thing that changed after going through the program. And now I feel confident. Like I, it's still a work in progress. But I I did fit in some of my clothes that I didn't in the past year or two. I do feel like I look better in some things. I also I have a specific skirt I had purchased at a thrift store where I bought it and I was like, I almost fit in it. I'm gonna fit it in eventually if I just work out and lose some weight. And now it actually zips and it's still work in progress, but I feel much better. I'm like, okay, it zips now. Now I just like gonna keep working on it so that it gets a little bit loose. Um, so it's just I have a lot of motivation, a lot of confidence with all of the changes that I went through with the program.
Yeah, I'm super proud about the fact
Mhm.
that you are having that confidence. I can see the night and day difference. Even how we communicate, you have more conviction in what you're saying. And that's just a testament that it isn't just physical, right? You made the internal shifts with how you think, how you feel, how you stick to your habits. But at the same time, there are going to be people who hear you, hear your story, and they're still going to be skeptical to invest in themselves. Maybe you were a little bit at first, but like, what would you
Mhm.
say to them now that you're on the other side?
I would say it's very easy to, first off, look at the monetary part of it. It's like, oh, should I really drop this money? Is it gonna be worth it? But after me saying like, you know what, I'm gonna take a chance and do it, um, I I felt like okay, and also another aspect was if I'm putting this money down, I need to make sure I make the most out of it, and also the fact that you said you have and you also provided like 24-hour advice, basically just being there, a 24-hour coach and being able to access you at any time. That was a big help because I would say if I was going to a gym where I had to go meet a coach somewhere, after that session would end, probably the coach would just be like, okay, I'll see you next week type of thing, or I'll see you in another day. Um, but that's one of the big differences. And another thing is the all of the resources that are on the app, I think are very beneficial. And having all the different workout options. I got tired of one of the options that I was doing for a few sessions. I could just shift it and change it into something else. Or if I was traveling, which my job requires quite a bit of travel, being able to change from one workout routine to another that works with whatever I have on hand. If I don't have any weights, don't have any machines, there was an option for that and just having a lot of resources in the app. And it's just at the end of the day, it is what you make it. Like if you use it, you use all the resources there, you're gonna see a lot more results. And you know, another thing that I felt at the beginning was that, oh, should I book my session with you weekly? I haven't done a lot of stuff. I haven't done a lot of progress the prior week. I feel like I'm making excuses about why I didn't do a lot. But it was something that I had to get over, that you're not here to judge us, but to help us, to show us that any little step, any little additional thing that you do to help you, is better than nothing. And so that's the thing that I would say, like just take a chance on it, take a chance on yourself, and just see what this can do for you.
Powerful. I appreciate you kind of sharing that insight. And if you were to go back, you had a nice little time machine here back then. Um, would you have done this sooner?
Yeah, I would definitely have wanted to do this sooner and also have utilized the resources a lot more than I did. Um, I feel like it was something that I had been feeling for a while. Been feeling low, been feeling like I lost some confidence, thinking about I should do something, but not really actioning that. I wish I would have done it sooner and felt better quicker than I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
powerful. And I'm super proud to even be the coach to guide you through this journey. And like we said in the beginning, it's only the beginning, right? Three
Hmm.
months, 6 months, even a year is a small fraction of how much life they have to live. Now that you have the skills, you have the resources, you've shifted the mindset, you've done the inner work. Now everything else, you're just compounding what you built from the beginning. And then you can just share what were the physical or the data changes that you've noticed from when you started until now, whether it's the weight, the inches, how dress clothes fit, or any physical shifts.
Hmm. So, yeah, so when I first started the program, I weighed my heaviest that I have ever weighed, and I was pretty much at 190, going um going into 200. I was getting concerned, honestly. Um, and I knew I had to do something about it. A few weeks ago, like about a week or two ago, I weighed 168. It's still not the goal that I want, but it's a big difference. And in terms of inches, I I personally wouldn't check my weight, my inches every single week. I would check it every 2 weeks. And that's where I would see like a pound shed or 2 pounds shed. And in terms of the inches, I probably lost about up to 5 inches total. Um, I could possibly make more progress, but it's all about how much time and effort I can put into it. I Another thing that was a big factor is the steps, like hitting the right amount of steps or hitting enough steps. I remember you told me like hit 2,000 steps a day, if anything. And I was not checking how much I walked because I also got a stay-at-home job that is like 75% at home. The other percent was traveling to offices to work. Um, and when I'm at home, after I started paying attention to the steps, I was actually hitting maybe 600 on a good day at the most, 600 steps. So that was another big factor to it.
Beautiful. So down 22 pounds, lost multiple inches, getting the steps up, activity level up. And now it caused me thinking is because our main thing is the sustainability, over lack of overwhelm, stress free.
Hmm.
Do you feel like you taking this on while you were while you were moving all the different aspects of your life? Do you feel like this was something you had to force yourself to do that's unrealistic, unsustainable, or did it fit within your life in a way that made sense?
I would say I did have to think about making time into it because it was so easy for me to just sit down and doom scroll or to say like I'll do it later, I'll do it tomorrow, or like I'll just walk around the block a bit and that's good enough. So I would say it is sustainable. I added it into my routine, like at least get 2 workouts a week. And if I can't do it today, then I need to make time for it tomorrow. Um, but even if for some reason I can't work out, I need to at least do some type of movements. I also bought a walking pad so that way I can walk in place if I'm just watching TV or if I'm working from the laptop. So
Mhm.
that's also another thing that I just wouldn't have thought of before. And now I just have to consciously just do it, and eventually it'll probably just become like norm. Like, okay, I feel like my body wants to move. Let's go ahead and get on the walking pad. Um, and then another part is meal prepping was another thing that I had to think about at first, and now it's just like kind of thinking about portion sizes without having to use the scale. It's just something that it became a little bit more routine. Like, okay, I know this much chicken to be about this much protein. And then that helps that helps me a lot with keeping the routine and not thinking too hard about it. So
Beautiful.
eventually, yeah, it just becomes part of your life. It's not like, oh, I did a diet to get here, and now I want to eat some junk food and get, mix a little bit of the aspects of my old life and my new life, but more of like, this is my life now. I'm more conscious about what I'm eating, what I'm doing,
Mm.
how it's affecting me, so that way I can continue with where I want to be.
All right. Beautiful. So you have the way of life, the Cassandra 2.0 fully
Hmm.
embodied, and now it's just getting better as it compounds month after month. Yeah. All right. Anything else you wanted to share?
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. I'm grateful. Appreciate you for even sharing